I've always been curious, bro, and I apologize in advance now that we're friends on IG.
Oh,
I get some random questions at 3 a.m. or fucking, just because I've always okay, this is the last before yourself, the last mortician I was talking to, or she was a mortician. Though one of the brief times I was on Tinder, I found this mortician chick.
Nice.
We became friends like on social media. We were planning on going on dates, but I was not really trying to go on a date. I more than anything wanted to know about her job. And then I was like, you should come on my podcast. Like, are we gonna fucking hang out or what? I'm like, oh,
On the podcast.
But she told me like everything, bro, like the craziest stories I've ever heard. She told me that she embalmed her cousin who had cancer, and she felt a very like, this is my own, like, you ever seen a Pet Cemetery 2? You bury your own.
Yeah. Extreme ownership.
Right. Yeah. That's how she felt. And she said it's a cousin she grew up with. It was sad, but she also, it's like I get to do her makeup the way she was as she was living, and same with her mom. And she just told me, coming to work at the cemetery early morning and finding people doing rituals and one of those, like, get out of here, like stuff like that.
Yeah,
like
stop trying to summon the dead. They're trying to sleep.
Right? Yeah.
Hey, just let them rest, bro.
Right. Apparently that's the thing. Like in her cemetery, I think it was San Jose or somewhere, where that was like a big thing. Seeing people doing brujeria and stuff.
Yeah, in Alum Rock.
Yes. So you've heard? So have you had those experiences too?
Yeah, my ex actually thought herself a witch at some point, and she's a liar. But that's the reason why we broke up. But at the same time, like I said, with my experience with death, I can kind of call that shit out for sure.
Yeah.
It's like if I walked into a room with like Maria Abramovich, if you guys know who that is, right? The performance artist.
Yeah.
That woman is blessed by death.
Yeah.
Like she legit has some kind of connection to the other side.
Didn't she have like a performance art where they pointed a loaded gun at her?
She basically just allowed humanity to do whatever they wanted to her, and they had to stop the display after a guy basically tried to bend her over in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, that's enough. And she started crying and was traumatized for a while because, hey, look at how humanity acts when you just allow them to do what they want to.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It's crazy. But
and she's also into ritualistic stuff, from what I've read.
Absolutely. I believe that she can actually communicate non-verbally, which is a huge indicator of somebody that's connected to another realm of existence. You know what I mean? If you can kind of look at somebody and express a whole line of thought without saying a word, that's when you know that you got some kind of connection to something else.
Telepathy.
It's less telepathy and more like a mutual understanding of nature kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's like, this is the way the cycle works.
Like such a deep spirituality, like presence,
Yeah.
power almost.
Yeah, you kind of project that onto other people. It's like the vibrations that people, that sounds weird, but it's legit. It's like what you put out is what you get back, because it's it's bouncing off and coming back to you.
I knew someone like that, and it talked about what they did to me in the last episode, and they came from Mexico doing stuff that got them in trouble in Mexico. So they were here now, and it was a weird I'll tell you an experience I had with that person. Sorry, bro. Sorry for bringing this up. I know but I was at a funeral and I shared thoughts like in my head with my friend that had just been murdered, and then I went to see her afterwards. Didn't mention this to anybody, what I said in my head to my friend, and she said everything I said to me. Like word by word, like I know you told your friend this, and like, oh shit, okay, and that kind of stuff. I think I've told you that, right?
This is the way that I could specify it. It's not like you're reaching out and pulling things back in, for information. It's just you're open to the idea that the information can be given to you. If that makes sense? Yeah. So what happened is she's attuned to it, and somebody, maybe your friend, heard what you said and translated or gave it to her, and she's so open and attuned to it that she can just repeat it directly, exactly the way it is. But other times, people that aren't good at it, like I'm not the greatest at that, it's muffled. But there are times when you can definitely tell there's somebody trying to talk to you that's not you. You know what I mean? There's voices that come in, you're like, that wasn't me.
Outside influence.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah, and sometimes you'll have that, you're like, that wasn't my thought. You know what I mean? Like, that it sounds like me, but it wasn't me,
Can you believe the Voice Party has had merch this whole time and we neglected to tell anybody? T-shirts, hoodies, bath mats, wall clocks, throw pillows, even mini skirts. We will throw our logo on absolutely anything. Click the link in the description below and pick you up some Voice Party merch today.